Judge, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Hey, Marcia, I'm going to make you the co-host.
Okay. Judge,
Yes,
do you want me to admit them or are you going to admit them?
I'll take care of that.
Okay, so I'm going to put I'm going to put myself on mute.
Okay. All right, Marcia, here we go. All right, good morning, everybody. This court of the 19th Judicial Circuit is now in session. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for appearing here by Zoom. Right now, your microphones are muted. Once we get started, I'll give you the ability to unmute your microphones. Please keep your microphones muted until your cases are called. My intention there is to, in case there's any background noise or anything like that, we don't want that to interfere with the proceedings. My intention is to run this call as close as possible to how I would do it if everybody was actually here in a courtroom with me. Please keep in mind that this is a formal proceeding. I'd ask that everyone treat it as if you were physically in the courtroom. Please don't speak over one another if that becomes an issue, or else it's even more difficult than when you're in a live courtroom to hear people when they speak over each other while we are on Zoom. I also want to let everybody know that this proceeding is being live streamed on YouTube for public access. No one is allowed to record these proceedings, and I will say that to all of you and to anyone who may be viewing this on public access. Anyone that violates that order could be held in contempt. What I will do now is I'm going to give you guys the ability to unmute yourselves. And I just want to ask, first of all, we have people here from two different courtrooms. Is anyone here from the 304 call? That's would have been the case that's up for final trial conference in front of Judge Ortiz. No one is here on that
Yes,
call?
Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Robert Hogan.
Okay. Mr. Hogan, if I'm going to want to take care of these other folks first, if that is okay with you, I just appreciate your patience.
No problem. Thanks, sir.
Okay, they're here from the 202 call. All right, good. So let's get started. Let me start with, I guess I got your cases listed by attorney here. Ms. Cranley, if you can mute yourself, that would be great. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Are you here on Mr. Weber's cases as well?
I am.
Okay, because I noticed they came from the same phone number. All right. So I'm going to take those and we'll go through them one at a time. Oh, I apologize. Let me do one other thing to everybody who's here from the surety call. So first of all, orders at the end of the call, you're going to need to have an order to send to my clerk, and the email address that you should send the order to is cc205@lakecountyil.gov. And we'll need, of course, an individual order for each one of your cases. Now, the form order in a fillable form can be found at our circuit clerk's website, and the form number is 171-494. If you just go to the circuit clerk's website, there's a search bar right in the, when you pop up. If you go to Google and you type in Lake County Circuit Clerk forms, it'll take you right to that page. Search for 171-494, and you will then find a form here. I'll show you what that form looks like, that form order. It's this one right here, the order. See, and it's in a fillable form. That's the number down at the bottom, but you'll find it as easily as I did if you just Google the circuit clerks and put in that number. And then just, as I said before, you will then email that form to that email address, cc205@lakecountyil.gov. If anyone needs those instructions again, just let me know. I'd be happy to put them up there. So I will also let everyone know who's here for the surety call that I have had an opportunity to review all the files yesterday afternoon. So I'm up on what's going on. So first one I want to call then, Ms. Cranley, is 20 MR 251.
Yes, and Your Honor, I'm here appearing Grace Cranley on behalf of Philadelphia Indemnity Insurance Company as petitioner to act as surety for another year in Lake County.
Okay, and I've reviewed that file. I've reviewed all the filings that you filed along with it. It is in perfect order, and that would be granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So you'll give me that form for that one.
Thank
20 MR 258.
Your Honor, Grace Cranley on behalf of Ohio Farmers Insurance Company as petitioner to act as surety for another year in Lake County, Illinois.
All right, so let me just ask you, for this one, I do not have a current Department of Insurance license on file. Did you file one?
I believe we did. If you can give me one moment.
Yep, go right ahead. And by the way, I will, just to cut it short, that's the only one on all of your files that I found to be deficient. The only order I have in here ends June 30th, 2019.
Okay, and so you were asking for the State of Illinois Department of Insurance
Form,
certificate?
Yeah, everything else is in order here. If you have that, that would be great. If you could show it to me, I would just be able to say you can get that on file by the end of the day, and then I would grant your motion.
And I do have it here, so I will get it on file by the end of the day.
Anyway, can you share it with me? Any way you can screen share?
If I knew how to do that, I could.
So is it up on your computer?
Yes.
Okay, so do you see where it says screen share at the bottom?
Hold on. I'm also just.
No, wait a second. Now do you see where it says screen share at the bottom?
Yes.
Okay, hit screen share.
Okay, wait, hold on. I have it on my other.
Oh, it's on your other computer.
Yeah, sorry. I have it on my other computer, but I do have it.
Okay, well, that's fine. Well, I will tell you this. If you could get that on file by the end of the day today, then,
Okay.
I will grant that order, and you could send in that form order as granted.
Great.
You'll need to have that on file prior to sending me the order.
Okay, do you want me to also send maybe a file stamped copy of it with the
Sure, if you
order?
want to send that along with the order to that same mailbox, that would be great.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay. So next one I have is 20 MR 259.
Yes, Grace, Your Honor, Grace Cranley appearing on behalf of Continental Casualty Company as petitioner to act as surety for another year in Lake County, Illinois.
All right. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I reviewed your file, all the appropriate filings, the statement of assets and liabilities, and everything else are current and on file here, and I'll grant that motion.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I do have someone, hang on a second, I apologize. I'm admitting somebody else who's popped up in our waiting room. Hello, I just admitted someone with the name John's iPhone. Can you please identify yourself? You can unmute yourself.
Oh, John Schwarzinski on the Sherry Alexander matter for the plaintiff.
Oh, is that the one from Judge Ortiz's call?
Yes.
Okay, if you could please be patient. Mr. Hogan is here as well. If you could just mute yourself. I'm going to get through these other cases first, and I will be right with you.
Okay, thanks, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Okay, 20 MR 260.
Your Honor, Grace Cranley appearing on behalf of Western Surety Company as petitioner to act as surety for another year in Lake County, Illinois.
Okay, again, that's been reviewed, and that is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
20 MR 263.
Your Honor, Grace Cranley appearing on behalf of Merchants Bonding Company Mutual as petitioner to act as surety for one more year in Lake County, Illinois.
Again, that's been reviewed and it will be approved.
Thank you, Your Honor.
20 MR 272.
Your Honor, Grace Cranley on behalf of Arch Insurance Company as petitioner to act as surety for one more year in Lake County, Illinois.
Okay, again, that matter has been reviewed. It has the record of publication, all the other appropriate and required documents, and that will be approved as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next is 20 MR 273.
Yes, Your Honor, Grace Cranley on behalf of Employers Mutual Casualty Company to act as petitioner to act as surety for another year in Lake County, Illinois.
All right, that will be approved.
Thank you, Your Honor.
20 MR 287.
Your Honor, Grace Cranley on behalf of Liberty Mutual Insurance Company as petitioner to act as surety for another year in Lake County, Illinois.
All right, that has as well been reviewed. All of the appropriate documents are on file. That'll be approved.
Thank you, Your Honor.
20 MR 288.
Your Honor, Grace Cranley on behalf of Safeco Insurance Company of America as petitioner to act as surety for another year in Lake County, Illinois.
All right, the court has reviewed the file, documents on file. This has all the proper documents on file. That will be approved as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
20 MR 289.
Your Honor, Grace Cranley on behalf of Ohio Casualty Insurance Company as petitioner to act as surety for one more year in Lake County, Illinois.
That will be approved.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And 20 MR 290.
Your Honor, Grace Cranley on behalf of West American Insurance Company as petitioner to act as surety for another year in Lake County, Illinois.
Again, court has reviewed that file as well. All the appropriate documents are on file. That will be approved as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are there any that I missed?
No, I believe that's all for me.
All right, do you have any questions regarding the where to send it to? You got that email address?
I have that, and I'm just clarifying that the only thing you need is for Ohio Farmers Insurance Company, the State of Illinois Department of Insurance certificate.
The current one, the one that ends in 2021.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And if you can get those on file as quick as you can, I should say email to me as quick as you can today, we'll have them signed.
Okay. Do I have permission to leave the meeting at this point then?
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's see, next. Is that Brian, and is that Zeke? How do I pronounce that, sir?
Yes, you got it right.
Are you ready to go?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me just grab your files.
And Your Honor, I got word that the various notices of publication were going to be delivered to you this morning. I guess.
And they were, and they've all been
Great.
put into the file.
Fantastic.
I've had an opportunity to review all of your files. Let's take them one at a time, but I do not think there are any that are currently deficient. So
Okay.
We'll have them just in a moment. So we'll start with 20 MR 307.
Sure. Brian Zeke on behalf of Petitioner Hudson Insurance Company.
All right. Again, the court's reviewed that. That has all the appropriate documents on file. Statement of assets. Oops, I'm sorry. Nothing. Right, power of attorney, and there were no current pending lawsuits or claims of liability. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, so that one will be approved. Oh, wait a second. I did find one that I have a question about, 20 MR 308.
Okay, Everest.
Yes. So the one thing that I could not find in that one is your current certificate from the Department of Insurance. You may have just inadvertently left it out of the one you filed because in your petition, you say you have it attached as Exhibit 1, but the Exhibit 1, then you have a cover for Exhibit 1, but behind that cover, it's blank.
Correct, Your Honor. Oh, shoot. Okay, bear with me 1 second. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, if you can pull it up, that would be great.
You know, do we want to, while I'm kind of hunting that down, move on to the others and come back to this one so I can
You
grab
bet.
that?
Yep, I'll put that to the side. 20 MR 309.
Brian Zeke, sure, Brian Zeke on behalf of petitioner Selective Insurance Company.
All right, and that did have an Exhibit 1 document under Exhibit 1, which is the certificate from the Department of Insurance ending June 30th, 2021. Everything else is in order here, and I will grant that.
Great, thank you.
20 MR 310.
Brian Zeke on behalf of petitioner Harco National Insurance Company.
All right, court has reviewed that file as well. Everything in there is in order, and that one will be granted.
Thank you.
20 MR 311.
Brian Zeke on behalf of petitioner International Fidelity Insurance Company.
Court has reviewed that file as well. Everything that was required of you is on file in that case, and that one will be granted.
Thank you.
20 MR 312.
Brian Zeke on behalf of petitioner Massachusetts Bay Insurance Company.
Okay, court has reviewed that file as well. Everything required is on file in that matter, and that will be granted.
Thank you.
20 MR 313.
Brian Zeke on behalf of petitioner Guarantee Company of North America, USA.
All right, that one will be granted as well.
Thank you.
20 MR 314.
Brian Zeke on behalf of petitioner Hanover Insurance Company.
Okay, and that has the appropriate certificate of insurance. The notice was sent to me today. Everything else in the file is in order, and that one will be granted.
Okay, and
Do you want to go ahead?
Going back then to Everest 2020 MR 308, I'm looking at my electronic copies, and for whatever reason, it did get left out. I am holding in my hand here a hard copy of the current certificate. It's probably
Okay.
impossible to read, but
No, just hold it still right there. Everest Insurance Company, 2021. Okay, that's fantastic. You can put that down. So what I'm going to have you do is in the order that, what I want you to do is get that on file
yes.
as quickly as possible, and then I'll approve and grant that one as well.
Okay.
So
Thank you
you
very
have,
much.
you know where to send it, CC 205, and you know how to get to the forms.
Yes. Yeah, I've
Perfect.
actually got them all prepared.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Mr. Goldhaber, you can unmute yourself. Oh, I think here he is right there. Hello.
Morning,
how are you
Judge.
today, sir?
Morning, Judge. David Goldhaber for Capital Indemnity.
Okay, I will tell you that I reviewed your file, the file out for Capital Indemnity, which is 20 MR 275, and it does not have the current form
Insurance certificate.
insurance certificate on file. Do you have one?
Yes. I spoke with my client this morning and they had not yet received it in the mail from the department. They were in the process of checking. It might be a mail issue with their office in Connecticut being shut down and then it being forwarded to Wisconsin. So
Okay,
she was in the process of checking. I'm hoping to have word still this morning.
okay. Do you want me to give you a date to come back on it? How do you want to handle this?
I would either request a date or perhaps, if it's okay with the court, if they're able to track down a copy of today through the mail, I can email it to you at the address along with the proposed order. And if everything else is in order, that would be fantastic.
That would be fantastic, and I would find that to be acceptable as well. But I'll need, like I said, I'll need a file stamp copy of the order. And I'll take those up until, if you can get it to me, up until 3 o'clock today. So you'd have some time to e-file it, you know, get your confirmation, and send that to, send the order and the copy to me.
Okay. Would you like to set a backup date today if the client's unable to track down the certificate?
It's either that or you could just, you could motion it up.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Hang on, just if you could hang on just 1 second, okay?
Sure.
Don't go anywhere. I'll tell you in just a minute. Mute yourself for just a moment. Mr. Hacker? If you could unmute yourself, please. Oh, let's see, he does not have a.
Unmute. There we go, Judge. Unmute.
Yes, yeah, I got you now. How are you? Sir?
Sorry about that. I'm very good. How are you?
Good. Although looking at all your files, you don't have any current licenses in your 4 files on file.
Correct, Judge. We have. I just received the current certificates for Great American. That's 265. I tracked down the NGM insurance certificates, that's number 267, but I have not physically gotten them yet. They were misdirected to the wrong address. And as far as the other two, the Hartford 266 and United States Fire 268, I should get them anytime. What I was going to suggest on all 4 files, presuming everything else is correct, is as I get these certificates, which should be over the next, I'm guessing, couple of days, because they always come in a little late, I would simply file them. And then after filing them, I would send a copy of the filed certificate along with the suggested order granting the petitions, because I think it's all going to occur over the next couple of days because they all come in basically to me at the same time.
Okay, let's take a quick look though at
Sure.
266.
266, that's the Hartford? Mm-hmm.
Let me just make sure. Yes, that's the Hartford.
Right.
So in addition to the certificate on the Hartford one,
Mm-hmm.
there was no statement of assets and liabilities. There was no
Powers of attorney
forms, and there was no certificate of insurance.
Correct.
So
Well, for the Hartford, Judge, we filed that petition and later filed the statement of assets and powers of attorney.
Well, they have not made it to the court file.
Hmm.
The statement of assets or the power of attorneys. Do you have those?
I'm not in my office. That's one of the issues. But when they came in, I'm confident that my office filed them and the filings were accepted. But again, it was probably, I'm guessing 10 days ago, a week or so, 10 days to a week. That those two documents.
Did you receive a confirmation that they've been accepted?
Yes. But I can double check on that just to be sure. But I filed all of the petitions, Judge, at the same time. And I knew I was going to be short some documents because of everybody being away from the office and whatnot, but I did want to get them filed.
Well, this one might have been different from your other files because in your petition for renewal, you did note in the petition that the powers of attorney and certificates of asset still needed to be filed.
Right, that's, again, that was when we originally filed that petition, but then we made a separate filing
Okay,
of those two exhibits.
so you're gonna need to check on that one.
I'll check it.
You know, if you want, I can give you an alternate court date again to appear.
That would be fine. That would be fine.
And we can do it that way.
Mhm.
And then I could give Mr. Goldhaber that same date,
All right.
his backup date, just in case he doesn't find that as well.
There's always one troublemaker like me.
No, that's okay. It's a document heavy call, so hang on
Right.
just a second. Let me just pull up my calendar real quickly. Would you guys have any objection to going out to the week of July 6th? That way everyone could have everything in order.
I have no problem with that, Judge. 9 a.m.?
Yeah, 9 a.m. in this courtroom, 205.
Okay.
All right, hang on just one second. And Mr. Goldhaber, is that fine with you as well for a backup date?
Yes, that's fine, Judge.
Okay, let me write it down because I'll be the first one to forget it. So hold on a second. What date did I give you again?
July 6th.
Oh, no, I can't do it on the 6th. Can we do it on, say, the 8th or the 9th?
What day of the week is the 8th?
The 8th is a Wednesday, the 9th is a Thursday.
How about the 9th? 9th is good for me.
Is that good for you, Mr. Goldhaber?
It is, Judge.
Okay, so we'll do 7, 9, 1:30 in C205. And if you could put that, Mr. Hacker, in the orders that you're going to send to me today, that it's being continued for that reason.
Okay.
To that date. You have visual there?
No,
You have,
no.
Can you see me or?
I can see you.
Okay, so I'm going to share this order with you. So, here's the order. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
So you pull that form order up from our clerk's office and fill it in, and then you're going to put in here, the petitioner failed to attach the following documents, put in the documents that you're going to be presenting on that next day, and then you have the date that it's continued to. Right
Gotcha.
here, and just email that to that address today.
I'll do that. What's the form number, Judge? I can't quite see
The
that.
form number is 171-494.
Mhm.
Samir, if I
Okay.
can share that with you really quick. Right there. So that's the form order that you'll
Gotcha.
find on the clerk's website, and that's the email address up there.
Got it. All right, we'll get you the 4 orders today.
Okay, good. And then we'll continue to that date. And then Mr. Goldhaber, you can use it. If you unmute yourself, go right ahead. You can use that same date. If for some reason you were going to either get it to me today and email it along with that. But if not, if you don't get it, send me an order that I just described continuing it to that date.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much. All right. So I think that is anyone else here on the surety call? Okay, no takers.
Are you done with me now, Judge?
I am, unless you have something further.
No, I'm fine. I really appreciate the time and thank you, Judge.
Not a problem. Thank you. Okay, so now we're back to, and I appreciate everybody's patience. This is 18L 828 Alexander versus Nanzine. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, and this was here actually for a final trial conference.
Yes.
But you don't have a trial date at this point.
That is correct. We had one, I think, scheduled for next week, which has obviously been canceled.
Yes. So, and I'm sorry, I'm talking now to John's iPhone.
Yes, sorry, Your Honor. John
That's okay.
Schwarzinski.
Can you identify yourself for me, please?
Yes, John Schwarzinski for the plaintiff.
All right. So John, and spell Schwarzinski for me.
CHWARZYNSKI.
All right, just like it sounds.
Yeah, train wreck on the Alphabet Express.
That's right, I got you. Okay. Have you guys had any discussions regarding, it looks like I'm looking at your last trial continuance order back from March 12th, that you had a scheduled mediation with ADR Systems.
We did in fact move forward on that by Zoom, Judge. We were unsuccessful. John and I have spoken in the last week about a possible binding arbitration moving forward. We are currently in the process of discussing whatever certain parameters we can agree on in order to schedule that.
What kind of case is this?
This is a slip and fall at my client runs a hotel up in not Winthrop Harbor, but right on the border. I forget what the name of it is.
Okay. And the what kind of specials do you have in the case?
There's over approximately about 70,000 in specials. It was a fractured ankle with a ORIF surgery.
Okay. And you know, I don't want to, since we're on in a public forum, I won't get too detailed into what your negotiations were, although my curiosity is certainly piqued. Is this that you couldn't come close enough to get the matter settled? It looks like, I mean, if you went to mediation with ADR Systems, both sides must be serious.
Not even close.
I'm sorry?
It wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close? And who's the insurance company for?
Society is the carrier for the defendant.
Okay. Well, all right, I'm happy to do that. So you have been discussing binding mediation, and where are you at with those discussions?
I sent out an initial proposal, which John punted back to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I'm in the process of tracking down my adjuster to counter John's counter proposal.
Okay, so you guys are still talking at least.
Yes.
Okay, but from what I hear,
We had a long way to go.
you have some distance to cover if you're going to do that. How long did you spend? Who did you have at ADR?
We had Judge Kay Hanlon by Zoom.
And how did you find that experience, just out of curiosity, the Zoom mediation?
I much prefer it being in person. That's just my.
Yeah, I think we all prefer things in person.
Yeah.
What were you able to communicate well doing it? Both sides?
Yeah. Well, I think, as I recall, technically we had no issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to adjust to this new world myself. And we do quite a few settlement conferences, and I'm just trying to figure out what everyone's impression is.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe the best way to go today is to give you a new trial date and a final trial conference date as well. And we could set a status date if you want. We could set a settlement conference date. But I mean, I think if you're going to go to binding, you know, if you've already done a settlement mediation with ADR and you're talking about, you know, binding arbitration, that probably not necessary to set a settlement conference, but, you know, Judge Ortiz is always happy to assist in that way. And, you know, you could always motion it up and he would set a date for you to help participate.
Well, Judge, if we're able to, if John and I are able to come to an agreement on the parameters of a binding mediation, we'll just walk in a dismissal order for you. I think it was both of our understandings, and I'm not going to speak for John, that we were going to get a trial date today with a final pretrial conference. And if we can come to an agreement on binding mediation, we'll, I guess we'll dismiss the case because mediation or the arbitration will in fact be binding.
Okay,
So
all right.
if John has a different idea, I'm happy to listen.
No, that's fine with me, as long as, if we can
Oh.
come to an agreement, then,
I'm not, sir, I'm not hearing you. If you could turn up your mic.
No, it's on. Can you hear me?
I was hearing you much clearer before.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Here, that's okay. I'm gonna turn up my volume.
Yeah,
There you go.
I'm fine with everything that Mr. Hogan proposed.
Okay, so let me do that. So, what if I give you, what kind of a trial date would you like?
The court sent out two possible dates yesterday, 1/25/21 and 2/22/21. And
Yeah.
John and I emailed back and forth this morning. We've agreed on 2/22/21.
Okay. Then
That's still okay.
the final trial conference date would then be February 19th. At
That'd be
9
the
o'clock.
previous Friday. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Okay.
do you want a status date at any time, or would you like to motion it up?
I'll defer to John on that.
Yeah, I don't think we need one.
Yeah, if we're able to set this for a binding arbitration, we'll just walk in we'll notice it up and enter a dismissal order.
That sounds perfect. You're euphemistically using the term "walk it in," these days, but that's okay. I understand.
We'll get it to the court.
And we will take it. So that will be. So you're going to send me a new trial continuance order, and that is form number 171-373, and you could find that on our circuit clerk's website.
Okay, very
And
good.
then send that to, here, I can screen share the, oops, I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button. At the top, that is the email address to send the order to.
Lake County Gov.
Got it.
LakeCountyIL.gov.
Okay, very good.
Fantastic. Anything further on this case?
No,
Okay.
Thank you.
we're all set. Judge,
Okay,
thank you
well,
for your
try to
time.
get those orders to me as quickly as possible today, and we'll get it. So thank you very much.
All right. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You as well. Marcia, I'm going to end the session.